Welcome to the VectorVest University. My name is Kathy Onan. I'm the Manager of Internal Training, and I'll be hosting this week's presentation, Worry-Free Investing with the Midas Touch. You've been hearing a lot about the Worry-Free Investing Challenge that we introduced back on March the 4th, 2016. Now that the challenge is over, and the top 3 winners were introduced in our special presentations, and the cash prizes have been awarded. Congratulations to all the winners. There were some really creative and innovative trading systems that were entered into the contest. Just a couple of weeks ago, on August the 26th, our senior instructor, Jerry D'Ambrosio, presented what was called the Worry-Free Investing Challenge All-Stars. He explained that after the challenge, our Director of Research, Todd Schaefer, continued his work and stress tested all the entries using a method of a sliding start window. Along with the original entry that was submitted, he ran 5 runs, advancing the start date by 1 year. On the 26th, Jerry introduced the top 5 performers from this stress test and called them the All-Stars. If you didn't get a chance to watch this, I recommend that you go back and review those trading plans. All of these plans used the confirm call up signal for when to buy with these stress tests and used the recommendation equals sell on when to sell positions. This week I'd like to focus back on the winner of the All-Star, WFA. He used a unique line and criteria in his search parameters. This is his original entry, and we have the equity curve. This was from the start date of December 31st, 2009, so the first trading date would have been start of 2010 and ran through 2016 on July the 29th. Each contestant had an initial investment of $100,000. WFA ended with a balance of $247,447. With his trades, he had 68% winning trades and an overall gain of 147%. On a compounded rate of return, that's 14.77% with a drawdown of 16.97. WFA was the All-Star leader with a score of 21.60. This included his base run and the additional runs stress testing with that sliding start window. All of these entries, the top 5 All-Stars, can be found in Jerry's presentation from August the 26th, so feel free to review those. There are several reasons I wanted to showcase this search. As with all the entries, the sort was using relative safety, finding those stocks that have good, consistent, and predictable financial performance. And this is key for worry-free investing. Another parameter that is key in this search is that it filters the database by a watch list called the Midas Touch, and you'll see it here on the bottom line of the list of parameters. WFA wanted to make sure that he or she was buying stocks with high momentum. This search also had 2 other lines of criteria that came into play. One was stocks relative value greater than 1, giving us upside potential. The next was relative timing greater than 1.2. That's our short-term price trend indicator, and above 1 is favorable. With stocks being Midas Touch, they have to meet certain criteria. For a stock to be considered a Midas Touch, we use this graph layout looking at a 3-month time period. We use a 10-day and a 65-day moving average of the stop price. Both must be hitting a 3-month high, and the 10-day moving average of the stop has to be greater than the 65-day moving average of stop. The stop price of a stock is a 13-week adjusted moving average. We take that 13-week moving average, we adjust it for the fundamentals. If a company has strong fundamentals, we want to keep you in the stock longer, so we'll lower that, and the stop price is how a stock gets assigned the sell recommendation. The last criteria for the Midas Touch is we look for a 40-day moving average of relative timing to be also hitting that 3-month high and above the level of 1. I'll move us over to the Viewers tab in the VectorVest program and look at our top VST vector stocks. These are our top stocks as of the close of business on September the 8th, ranked by VST. I have pulled the top 20 stocks. You'll find this located on the local toolbar. I'll come across the menu and we'll choose Graph All. Our Midas Touch layout is built for you. In the Graph Control panel, I'll choose Graph Layouts and choose Midas Touch. Remembering one of the requirements is that we choose that 3-month period. I'll move to the lower right-hand corner and choose 3M. I'll remove the date line. And we can also remove price. Now we can quickly scroll through the top VST vector stocks and identify if they are a Midas Touch stock. Remembering the 10 and the 65-day moving average of stock, you'll find this here in the parameter column here to the right, and the 40-day moving average of RT must be hitting a new high. This one is actually a little difficult to determine. I'll add the horizontal line. And this one is really close, but the 65-day moving average of stop is not quite creating a new high, so I may put that stock on my watch list. As we come to the next one, it's easy to identify. You, with your eye, will be able to just give me a yes or a no. Light is a yes, THO a yes, BZUN yes, CRNT yes. DW is a no because we have the rolling over of the 40-day moving average of relative timing. I think you guys now have the idea on how to quickly identify Midas Touch stocks. To make things easy for our subscriber, we have a watch list that's populated each evening after the market update of stocks that meet the Midas Touch criteria. I'll close this and we'll move to the watch list area here in the left-hand column. You'll find this under the group heading called Cherry Picking, and it's the Midas Touch stocks. These are the stocks that were populated in the Cherry Picking list for Midas Touch stocks last night. Currently, looking on the local toolbar, there's 917 that meets that criteria. I'll open a graph and show the top 20, but again, we've done the work for you. Remember to change your time frame to that 3-month period, and as we scroll through these, all of the stocks in this watch list meet the Midas Touch criteria. Our entry, WFA, used the filter to only choose Midas Touch stocks. When sorted by VST, these stocks are great for momentum or swing trading. In fact, the Midas Touch stocks are often identified in the Derby. With our worry-free investing, we want to focus on longer-term positions. And we'll resort these by safety and look at these stock graphs on a longer term position. On that 3-month period, I know it's a Midas Touch stock, so I'm going to change this. Now looking for longer term investments, I'll choose the VectorVest Simple. I'll take off the stop price and just leave price and earnings per share. And I'll change our time frame to a 5-year period. Now we're finding stocks that are high momentum at the current time and of long-term investing using our safety score. So we'll look through these, finding a nice steady rising pattern lower left to upper right and finding nice earnings per share. I'll take off the date line and we'll scroll through these. It's important to graph stocks. We often say that graphs don't lie. They give you the DNA of a stock. Your eye will identify those that are pleasing for your investment temperament. The smoother the pattern, the better. Now, with the worry-free investing, oftentimes on these stocks with good safety scores, we look to add to our return by buying stocks that pay a dividend. We also can sell covered calls on these stocks when they become a hold. I can add this information to the graph as well. Look to the lower left-hand corner. I'll add dividends, and on the chart, now you will see the X date and the payout date. So we know this pays a dividend. Another way to add dividends area, we can go to the right-hand column, go to Add Parameter, Dividend Analysis, and we can choose one of our dividend indicators. I'll choose Dividend Paid, and we can add that to the graph as well. I like the stair-stepping up of dividends. I can also choose the recommendation and see the stock's recommendation over periods of time. Once the stock goes to a hold, you may consider selling a covered call on that stock as well. As we've gone through these, my eye has certainly identified some stocks that I wouldn't mind owning for the long term. With the power of relative safety and using the power of the Midas Touch combination, it's a great trading plan for worry-free investing. The WFA search is located in our Unisearch. Close the graphs. We'll go to our Unisearch tab. These are identified here in the left by group headings. We'll find searches, worry-free investing challenge, and I'll scroll down to WFA. If you wanted to add a parameter to ensure that the stocks pay a dividend, we'll click in the parameter column, dividend analysis, dividend yield, and I'll choose greater than. From the custom value, I can choose 0, which will ensure that the stock does pay a dividend, or if you have a higher requirement, you can add that as well. Once you have made changes to the search, you can go to the floppy disk, hit Save As, identify the name change, select your group heading that you would like to store it in. I often store mine under My Long Searches, and just choose OK. Now this will be in your folder for use later. On Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will have the Q&A for the special presentation. You're able to register for this webcast from the Friday's views and also from the home page under the Events tab. Thank you for your attendance. With the power of the VectorVest Relative Safety and the Midas Touch combination, we'll give you another trading system for your worry-free investing.